Dead sea life and murky foam, a coastline in collapse, now revelations the warning signs were flashing long before anyone acted.
First detected on the Fleurieu Peninsula back in March, reports of marine deaths quickly spread to Kangaroo Island and the York Peninsula.
Toxic foam washing up on beaches and killing marine life along the Fleurieu Peninsula has been identified as a microalgae.
Devastating algal bloom causing widespread marine life deaths along the South Australian coastline could last for another year.
G'day everybody, welcome back to another episode of Non-Stop Fishing. Now today, it's not like a normal episode. I'm not super excited today. We've got no fishing rods in the boat. We're literally just in the tinny and we're doing a bit of an exploration. Now, we've got a bit of a crisis here in SA. We've got a nasty situation occurring and it's been happening for a while, and now it's literally at our back door. This algae bloom has basically shut down the fishing completely. Now, this is not good at all, because not necessarily good for, us as a fisherman, but as an overall ecosystem, this is huge. Now, the prediction was it was from the warm water and a couple of really big storms and some really cold weather would potentially break it up, and hopefully it could disperse it and move on. Now, we've had at least, I'm going to say 3 or 4 major storms where the coastline has been absolutely smashed. Fortunately, what it's done is spread it. It's actually pushed it right across now all the way through. So pretty much it is going from all the way down south, all the way up past Outer Harbour this way. Now, that's a huge amount of water, and that's a huge amount of area that this algae is affecting. Now, I'm currently in the port. I'm in one of the little creeks where the mangroves are, and it's creeped into the port, and they're saying it's going to be very soon in the West Lakes system as well. So once it gets into those areas, what's the answer? Now, today's episode, I really just want to explore, see what we can find, see if we can find some life. Now, stick around, we're going to have a look around, but yeah, it's a bit sad, but beautiful day. Usually there'd be boats everywhere. I'm literally the only boat out here, but yeah. So what I'm going to do, a little bit of a, look around here, see if we can find anything in the shallows, in these prime areas where lots of fish come to breed and to find sanctuary. And then we're going to punch out a little bit and just find some of those little flats where the water sort of pushes right up, and we'll see if we can see anything there too. So yeah, you can see out the back the big cranes, but yeah, this is this little creek. It's brilliant, but unfortunately it's very quiet. All right, let's start exploring, guys. So far, just cruising around, I've not seen one fish dart off. Usually you see, little schools of salmon, swimming around and whatnot, but I haven't seen anything yet. Unfortunately, that algae that's coming through is just, I don't know. Just made it sort of unlivable for all these species. Pretty concerning, but well, I've come through here similar time of year, drifting with a soft plastic, and you're literally seeing schools of salmon trout just following your lure, and usually you can sort of see a couple dart off as you sort of cruise around. I haven't seen anything yet. The water's it's not super clean either. It's got a tinge of green to it. I know that's what they're saying with that algae, but that could be what's through this system. So it's pretty cool little area, but it's just super sad knowing that potentially, yeah, all the fish, shellfish are struggling. Like, I went over a few little patches where there's been some like razor fish beds, and a lot of the razor fish, the shells have opened, they're not actually alive, so I'm guessing that they're getting affected by all this as well. If I see anything that looks a little bit interesting, I'll get back to you, but beautiful day on the water, just unfortunately there's nothing under the water. Righto, sort of pulled up on one of the little back beaches around Outer Harbour way. The birds are just next level, but we're just going to go for a little walk just along the edge just to see if we can find anything interesting that may have washed up from this, you know, algae. What I've done, I've stuck the anchor in, got the boat just floating just in a little hole because the tide is actually going out, and I don't really want to be stuck here all night because that's what's potentially could happen. So anchor's all holding that. We'll start our walk. We're going to go around this way just to see what's on this facing side where all the, you know, the weather hits, and then we can go from there. Now, just to give you a bit of a rundown, I went to a couple of boat ramps this morning. Not one boat. North Haven, usually there would be at least a dozen boats that would be there, but none at all. That's ridiculous. Now, the seagulls are next level through here. It's unbelievable. But I haven't seen anything washed up, dead. The water actually looks really clean here. Like, there's no tinge. It's very, very clean. So maybe, I don't know, maybe there's sections where it's sort of not really bad, but I want to get around just a little bit, just because then we can really get a good idea of what's going on with, you know, the fish and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Now, the reason why this is such a mecca for birds is because you can't actually access it from the mainland. It's like its own little island, so it's very protected from, like, you know, your ferals like foxes and cats. So I guess it's prime place to, you know, nest and whatnot. So I'm trying not to disturb them too much, but I think they aren't happy with me being here, as I'm just walking along just here, just checking it out. So like I said, we'll walk for a bit longer. I'm just intrigued to see what's up here a little bit further, because this is where things would get washed up. You'd say things would get washed up all through here, and I've yet to see anything dead on the beach, which I'm pleasantly surprised. I really was thinking we'd probably end up walking through and seeing a whole heap of, you know, dead fish washed up, but I haven't seen anything of yet. So I'll keep my eyes peeled and get back to you. But look at that, holy moly. It's like a David Attenborough doco right now. We've got so many birds and they're just hating me. I'm not even near them. I'm just over here. I'm not going to go near your nests. I promise you. All right, stick around, guys. We'll keep wandering. All right, I've come across my first casualty. It looks like it's been here for a while, but it's a banjo shark. Now, you saw me catch one of those in my previous episodes. That was quite, literally probably not far from here. Much bigger than this one, but that's a bit sad. So that's number one. Let's see, maybe we'll see a few more as we get around. Hopefully not, but such a shame. So literally only, not far up, come across another one. This little puffer. Maybe we've just hit a little patch where there might be a few. So like I said, I don't want to find them, but I'm just intrigued to see what's going on. And you know, I think, like everybody, there's so many questions, but there's not really many solid answers getting thrown back. You can actually see here, it's all that sort of, I don't know, like a bubbly foam that's been left behind from the tide going out. Now we're coming up to a little inlet, which I think you'll see a lot more of this foam, and that's a telltale of, yeah, that algae. Now, if we get a bit closer, this is so there's a big bay here that runs out, and it's pouring out with water right now. And oh, here's another one. This is I reckon this might be maybe another banjo or a shovel nose. Let's flip him over. Oh, he's a big old. So that's a beautiful big shovel nose sort of ray, and they're harmless. Like seriously, they just cruise the bottom, eating scraps. They're like the puppy dogs of the ocean, and they're dying. Let's see what's going on up here. Now you can see that there's all this foamy rubbish that wouldn't normally be here, so there's definitely something going on. Like this stuff, I don't know what's going on here, but that must be something to do with this algae. Here's a little cowfish shell. This one's been here for a while, but cowfish is such a cool thing, and it's the same sort of deal. Like you've seen me catch them on the channel. It's just unfortunate that this is how we're finding them. But, you know, these guys haven't got a chance with this algae. So there's so many conspiracies at the moment going around about what's caused it. Oh, here's another puffer. So we're getting up there now. Like we're starting to get a lot of fish just walking through here. And these are probably only maybe a couple of days old to maybe, you know, a week max. Like these fish haven't been here long, and they've been washed up with the tides. Look at this. This is actual fresh banjo shark. Oh. And that's how fresh it is. Like he's dead, and now he's just going to wash up. Oh, that's so sad. And like if we have around here, look at all these shells. All these shells, they've got nothing in them. They're just all empty. So they've either died and washed up, but far out. This sucks. This is terrible. This one's been here for a while. It's a bit of an older one. So far out. There's another one up here. Let's have a look what this one's looking like. Is this one? This is an old dog shark that's been washed up. Dog sharks are just such a cool thing too. They're just so docile, and they've got no hope. They literally, yeah, they're sitting ducks really, aren't they? So I don't even know what to say, guys. Shark. Again, such an innocent thing. Just they can't get away from it. They're stuck. And they're dying. And we're all seeing it. We'll just walk for a bit more. We're gonna head back now because the tide's really sucking out. And the last thing I want to do is be stranded on this island and not be able to, you know, get back. So I think it's basically answered my question. I was a little bit hopeful at the start when we were walking, didn't see anything. But then as you further the trip around the bay where the ocean actually hits this like big sandbar, I think the fish fatality is definitely shown, that's for sure. So, not very good. Another banjo shark that looks like it's been there for at least a week. Washed up a bit further onto the beach. Well, one positive of the day, the boat is still there, and the boat didn't want to drift away, which is very, very handy. Now, I've had that once where it just wanted to lift off, and yeah, I had to go get it once, which wasn't ideal, but let's get back in the boat. We'll have a little chat, but this looks quite clean. There's a little bit of colour to the water, but nothing major, nothing major. Yes, it's cold, it's cold. Fresh on the legs, fresh on the legs. Yes, yes, yes. Good mate. Righto guys, we're back in the shed. Basically after getting off that beach, the weather sort of got a little bit average, so I just cruised around and then came back to the ramp, and yeah, we're back here. But after leaving that sort of sandy beach, pretty much I scoured around the shallows, could not see any fish. Pretty much the whole sort of day we didn't see anything alive underwater. I found a few more banjo sharks upside down under the water, which was really sad to see. Probably a big concern was all the razorfish beds, especially in the port and the shallow flats. There are thousands of them. There are still thousands of them, but they're all dead. They're all opened up and you can see that there's nothing left inside. And even when you're cruising around, you can just see the bottom doesn't look right. And that's really sad and really concerning. You've all probably seen it on the news, or you've probably even seen it when you've been walking the dog on the beach. But the concern is we're only seeing a small amount on the beach. What about all the, the fish that are on the bottom of the ocean right now? There would be thousands of them that we'll never see, but they've been hit hard. Now, the only positive out of this whole thing, when I was doing that walk along the beach, I didn't see one whiting, I didn't see any snapper, salmon, squid, garfish, none of those, species that we are all traditionally used to trying to target. What I think, those particular species, they move around. They don't just stay in one spot. They change locations depending on what they need. So I feel that this water's come through, this algae's come through, and they've sensed it and they've got out of here, which is a positive, and I hope they've found some sanctuary somewhere where they're away from this. Unfortunately for the rest of those species, like, all those sharks and like the puffers and the cowfish, they are more residential fish. They don't move around and they didn't really have a hope. So that's why they're washing up on the beaches, and we're seeing that today. The saddest thing was when we were cruising around those shallow flats, usually this time of year, you'll see schools of salmon, schools of like little puffers. It's just alive. Nothing massive, but usually there's fish scattering everywhere when you're just cruising over those shallow flats, and nothing. I literally saw nothing. Now, I'd love to hear from you guys because you're all about the fishing as well. So if you could pop in the comment, have you caught anything over the last week? Because it's been here for only a week, really, down this area of the coast. It's shut it down completely from my point of view, but you might have been out and you might have had some success. But it'd be just really, really positive to hear that someone's actually catching something, or there are fish still there, because I don't know. I actually don't know what the situation is, but it doesn't look good. And I guess the worst thing about it is it's only going to get worse if it stays. And they're saying it could be here for another year or so. So we've got another summer coming up. Does that mean that through that hot period, the water heats up, this just becomes worse, and then we won't even be able to go swimming with our families down the beach? It'll be completely untouchable. And will that then be an issue for the powers above to actually open their eyes and go, wow, there's something wrong? I feel like we're already at that point. And if we don't start taking it serious, I don't know. I actually don't know. So all I can do and all I can suggest to you guys is share as much as you can. Tell your friends and family. I've got so many people that don't understand that this is happening because they're not a part of the fishing community. They don't know what's happening on the water. They've heard about a few sharks washing up, and that's a bit sad, but they don't know the extent of it. So share this. Let as many people know as you can and really make it a concern, because it's at everyone's doorstep now. It's not like it's something that, we've heard about it, but it's not here. It's here. It's here now. It's only been here for a week and it's completely shut down the fishing, and we've seen mass fish kills. So I've got so many mixed emotions. I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, but I just don't know where to from here. So all I can do is just, share this, and hopefully the more people that sort of understand it, the more people start to talk about it, and then maybe something happens moving forward. Usually I say I hope you enjoyed, guys, because, usually it's a fun episode, fishing, having fun with you guys. But today, it hasn't been. It's been quite sad, it's been quite confronting, and till the next time, hopefully we're on the water, hopefully maybe we're actually fishing, I don't know, I'm not sure about the metro situation, but thanks all for the support, I always appreciate it, but till next time, stay safe, and we'll see you on the water.